This is Karita Mbagara. I'm the senior pastor at CITAM Valley Road. Welcome to CITAM ChurchOnline. It is obvious that if we dabbed in witchcraft or devil worship, it would be clear that we are committing spiritual adultery. What is interesting is that it is possible also to be committing spiritual adultery in prayer, and that may not be very obvious. In fact, it is a very subtle way that we can commit this. Let's consider what James says in James chapter 4, verse 2 through to verse 4. The Bible tells us, "You desire, but you do not have. So you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want. So you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures." Verse 4, "You adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world means enmity against God? Therefore, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God." Verse 4 is very clear. That James says that those who become friends of the world and pray motivated from the world, they are trying to enjoin God with the things of the world. And that's why he calls such people adulterous people. They are people who will not get their prayers answered. And this is what I am saying. In such prayers that are motivated by the things of the world or worldly values, such prayers are going to be spiritual adultery, because you are seeking to enjoin the power of God with what is out of God. Perhaps an example would help. We can pray for things and God answers those prayers. But what is critical is what is the motive behind asking for things, because that's what distinguishes what is honest prayer, what is right prayer, from what is adulterous. If I pray for something so that I can prove a point to others, then the motive is wrong. And I am trying to join God in my wrong motive with what I'm asking him to provide. And that's where I become adulterous. And that's where you would become adulterous. Especially when we are allowing the spirit of competition to be in our lives. So for example, I could pray for a house, a car, I could pray for anything because I need it, but I could pray so that I can be in competition with other people. When the spirit of competition is there, then that prayer that seems to be very okay is actually spiritual adultery. Let me also give an example. I could pray that because I'm a pastor, that my church will be bigger than all the other churches around, or will manifest the gift of the Spirit, but the motive behind that is not for God's glory. It is so that I can project myself to a higher level or try to raise my status by what is happening in the church. So the prayer can appear very, very spiritual, but actually the motive behind it is wrong, and God will not answer that prayer. I could be praying even against those other churches, and obviously then I am becoming just like a witch. And this is what I am saying. We need to watch our motives. We need to examine our motives. Why are you asking for what you're asking for from God? Is it because you need it, or is it because you want to prove a point to other people and you want to enjoin God to that competition? I want to say, be careful lest you be using prayer as spiritual adultery. God is not impressed by such prayers. If this is meaningful to you, please share it with somebody else. Thank you.